This morning I'd like to show off my new Fender 6 instrument that I created using sampler for Ableton Live and of course my Fender 6. The Fender 6 is a 6-string bass guitar that actually sounds like a bass guitar but kind of sounds like a baritone as well, except it is tuned like a guitar, so its playability is very familiar to anyone that knows how to play guitar. So I found it a very liberating instrument, and I decided to do a multi-sample. And so here they are. I'm going to start with the muted instrument. And basically, this is the Fender 6 played with a pick and muted. And this is what that sounds like. As you can see, there are some colorful macros here. First, you'll find the frequency for the auto filter. High pass. The resonance. Spring reverb comes courtesy of convolution reverb from Max for Live. So you do need Live 9 to use these instruments. Delay and the delay feedback. So that's our muted instrument. Next in line is the ambient instrument, which is basically a combination of several other instruments that I created. And again, I'm keeping the macros to a minimum because to a certain extent it can become overwhelming. If you'd like to create your own macros, go right ahead. So this one is actually probably the simplest, and this is our ambient. So that's a combination of a couple of others, which I'll show you in a second. This is the combi version, and this one in fact has all of these included in one instrument, and instead of controlling the macros, controlling the effects parameters, we're controlling the volumes for each one of these guys. So you have one big guitar with everything in there, and you can control what you want to hear and what you don't. And create your own. So that's the combi instrument. Next one is the disco instrument, and I was inspired by this disco skin that was created by Ableton and released this week. Just has a nice kind of disco sound. I mean, not disco necessarily, I guess EDM kind of vibe. And there's a frequency. Anyways, a lot of fun. That's the disco instrument. Next is the Ebo Freak. And the Ebo Freak is basically me playing the Fender 6 with an Ebo. But what I've done is I've captured that one moment when it starts to saturate, when it gets ugly. So it has an unusual kind of hurdy-gurdy kind of vibe to it, I guess, something like that. Used for special purposes only, I guess. Next is the legato tremolo, and this is what you'd expect from this library. That spaghetti western sound. Yeah, so very cool. The next one is, or the last one rather, is the Fender 6 reversed. It's kind of like the ambient version that I created up here, except simpler, so it won't choke your CPU as much. You have a couple of parameters here. Now that becomes more of a pad for your productions. In any event, I created these to enhance my productions, and I am hoping that someone out there can use them. So I'm giving them away. They're available at my website, antoniosage.com, or auspiciousmusic.com, which is my production company. I hope that you enjoy it, and if you do, that you can leave a comment either on Facebook or on my website. Thanks so much for your time. Have a great day.